Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UAE, welcome to Dubai for all those traveling from India and different parts of the world. I'm indeed delighted to be here at this first News 9 Global Summit. I think News 9 represents the face of India's dynamic media and the vibrancy of the country, whether it is political, economic, or social. After earlier success in hosting a similar summit in Germany, I'm glad that News 9 has now chosen Dubai, since the city, this country, symbolizes dynamism of a very different magnitude altogether. The UAE brings together people, the best of minds, best technologies, investments, and also provides a platform which encourages free flow of ideas. But most importantly, India's relationship with the UAE is very special. And today, perhaps, the UAE is India's closest partner in this part of the world. It is the first country in the region with which we signed a comprehensive strategic partnership agreement way back in 2017. You've already heard much about this from Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Hardeep Puri ji. Although India-UAE relationship is a very historical one, which began with trade in pearls and spices long, long back. Today, this relationship has reached very unprecedented levels of depth and maturity. Our Foreign Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, was recently asked about which of our relationship he feels has transformed the most. And without batting an eyelid, he said, the UAE. And there are several reasons for him to say that. Our relationship is not just about trade and people anymore, although for sure, these are the two most critical pillars of our relationship. While trade is flourishing and more Indians are making the UAE home, new areas are now actually redefining our relationship. And in this context, I wish to highlight two aspects. Firstly, the rock-solid trust and the depth of our comprehensiveness of the relationship. These have provided a fertile ground for India to try out new initiatives, many of which have a very global impact. Secondly, there are a lot of these new subtle aspects which have redefined this relationship. Let me illustrate both of them. Firstly, let me talk about the new initiatives for which we have specifically chosen the UAE to work together. When the UAE signed the CEPA, it was actually their first ever CEPA. And for us, it was our first ever CEPA with any country in this part of the world. Please also remember that the UAE actually broke ranks with the GCC to take this step. As you all know, the UAE is very much a part of the customs union with the other 5 GCC countries. But then they took this very bold step, I would say, to sign a CEPA with India. CEPA is definitely showing a concrete result. Minister mentioned some details about that. In the last financial year, 24-25, actually bilateral trade crossed that magical mark of $100 billion, marking a 19% year-on-year increase. This has actually consolidated UAE's position as India's third largest trading partner and our second largest export destination. The dynamic economy that the UAE is, coupled with the vision of its leaders, this country has already signed 25 other CEPAs in the last 3 years across the globe. Last year, we also witnessed the signing of a bilateral investment treaty, which has further strengthened investor confidence in both sides. FDI from the UAE alone last year was about $4.5 billion, the highest ever in history. Although UAE as a source of FDI is something of very recent origin as compared to the historical investors in India, they are already the 7th largest with about $22 billion of FDI into India. These figures are for FDI coming directly from the UAE. Much of UAE investment also comes from platforms across the globe, particularly from the US. On the economic side, another first was signing of the local currency trade settlement mechanism, which enables traders on both sides to settle their transactions in Indian rupees and UAE dirhams. I think for countries with bilateral trade of the tune of $100 billion, this step is such an important step towards asserting the confidence we have in our own currencies. While I think across this room, we are all in favor of going green, but as far as currencies are concerned, I think to rely on our colorful currencies of India as well as the UAE, I think that's perhaps the way to go. There are also several firsts in the fintech space. UAE's J1 debit and credit card launched last year is based on our own tried and tested RuPay stack, making UAE the first country with which we have actually shared this stack. When our leaders met in February last year, they actually launched the J1 card. The UAE chose not to go west, but to work with our tried and tested fintech stack. The fact that they chose to name it J1 is also another matter of great pride for us, since it captures our past as much as it speaks about our future. J1 is actually based on G1, which is the best grade of pearls, the oldest traded commodity between our two countries. So every time a J1 card is used, it rings a bell in our mind, reminding of our historic relationship. The UAE also continues to be a strong energy partner for India. It is the second largest source of LNG for us, the second largest source of LPG, the fourth largest source of crude for us. And equally significant is the fact that UAE is still the only country which has invested in our strategic petroleum reserves. And when I say energy, it's not a one-way trade. While we are importing the items I just mentioned, India is also exporting a lot of finished petroleum products, refined products, and lubricants. Also, the fact that the Government of India decided to have the first campuses of two of our premier institutes of learning, the IIT and the IIMs, also signifies our intention and our resolve to invest in future generations. I recall a discussion very clearly between Dr. Jaishankar and President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed way back in December 2022, when Dr. Jaishankar pointed out that IIT is perhaps an institution with a global reputation, but with a national presence, and we want to take the brand overseas. But before Dr. Jaishankar could continue with the sentence, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed said that bring it to Abu Dhabi. And that's how, about a year ago, in January last year, we had the first overseas campus of IIT Delhi in Abu Dhabi. And within a short span of 1 year, the campus has already started BTech courses, MTech courses, PhD programs, and most importantly, it's well entrenched in the innovation ecosystem of this country. More recently, in April this year, just a few months back, during the visit of Sheikh Hamdan, the Crown Prince of Dubai, to India on the invitation of Prime Minister, another such initiative was announced, which is the setting up of IIM Ahmedabad branch in Dubai. And as we speak, the campus, the building is being renovated, being furnished, and the first course, MBA course, will actually start in September, in a few months from now. We'll also have a campus of the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. Again, the first ever overseas campus of IAFT. It will happen in the India Pavilion in Dubai Expo City. As far as global impact is concerned, initiatives like the I2U2, IMEC, India and the UAE have been very significant partners. About the I2U2, some projects like the food security project, food park projects are well underway between the UAE and India. Even as far as IMEC is concerned, while the other partners in IMEC might be preoccupied with other issues, India and the UAE are clearly progressing very well. In February last year, we actually signed, in the presence of our leaders, intergovernment framework on implementing IMEC, and we are moving very well ahead to set up something which we call the virtual trade corridor. Work on this was actually announced during the visit of Sheikh Khalid, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, in September, India last year. And it's not far, maybe a month from now, we should be able to set sail our first containers from Nhava Sheva in Kandla to Khalifa Port in Abu Dhabi and to Jebel Ali in Dubai. Let me also now come to this second aspect, the more subtle aspect, which is, I think, equally important. It has been mentioned in Minister's speech, as well as Mr. Barun Das's opening remarks. When our two leaders, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, meet, they still embrace each other, as they did during their first meeting in 2015. But now it's a much warmer embrace, commensurate with the deepening trust between our people and our countries. While there are close bonds between our leaders, Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, in Abu Dhabi, the president of the country, and also Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the ruler of Dubai, the vice president of the country. Strong ties with the next generation are also taking shape. I recall a meeting with Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed just about a month ago, when he said that when the leadership of the UAE had to decide about which countries the two crown princes should visit, it took them not more than 5 seconds to decide that this country should be India. So that is another, a very different kind of aspect of our relationship, and which makes it very unique. And this visit, I must also share, are not merely symbolic visits. These are substantive visits, because during the visit of Sheikh Khalid in September last year, we took major initiatives in the nuclear space, critical minerals. The virtual trade corridor for IMEC was announced. Also, just a week before his visit, Sheikh Khalid made it a point to actually formally inaugurate the campus of IIT Delhi in Abu Dhabi. Similarly, for the visit of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan in April this year, that actually marked the 100th anniversary of the visit of his grandfather. So it's a very, it's a historical relationship for everyone to see. And in that visit, the IIM Ahmedabad campus was announced. Another very important announcement, again on the very subtle side, was setting up a hospital in Dubai for Indian blue-collar workers. And that really marks a recognition of what Indian community in general, whether it's our business people or our blue-collar workers, the contribution that they have to make in the growth and development of the UAE. Another of those subtle manifestations is the Babs Hindu Temple in Abu Dhabi. There is huge symbolism around it. Although this is not the first Hindu temple in this country, but this temple is a very subtle representation of the common ethos of India and the UAE, the ethos of harmony, the ethos of tolerance. And that's why Prime Minister Modi himself inaugurated this temple in February last year. Today is perhaps one of the most iconic things of this country, alongside, of course, Burj Khalifa and Sheikh Zayed Mosque in Abu Dhabi. But it's also one of the most visited places in this country. In the first year alone, about 2.5 million visitors visited Babs Hindu Temple. Even cricket, for that matter. Indian cricket actually seamlessly extends to the UAE. So whenever we are unable to stage matches in India or even some of our neighboring countries, it's always Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah which we turn to. You will recall the ICC Champions Trophy just a few months back when proudly our men in blue lifted the trophy. If we rewind the clock just about 2 months back, within hours of the ghastly terrorist attack in Pahalgam on 22nd April, it was the UAE which was among the first countries to come out with a categorical statement condemning the terrorist act. And in the weeks to follow, particularly during the escalation between 7th and 10th of May, our two countries, our leadership, worked very, very closely. The rising number of Indians who have made the UAE their home symbolize how well accepted Indians are in this country and how much value we actually provide to the society and the economy of the UAE. The last count as of December last year was about 4.3 million, which is the largest number of Indian nationals anywhere in the world. That's where India-UAE relationship is today, all-weather friends, trying to make a positive difference for our people, for our countries, and for the world. This is a relationship which is as much about the past as it is about the future. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Mr. Sanjay Sudhir. He is, in fact, really the face, the voice of India here in UAE, and having you with us was such an honor.